We're at the 25th Anniversary Open House for Norwood Sawmills this afternoon, and we've got mills running and a lot of different displays out here. And I'm here with Sal, who runs a Norwood Sawmill, and I'm going to see if he'll tell us a little bit about his business, what he does, and how he does. So first of all, where are you located?
I'm in the Oakville-Milton area, Halton region, and mostly we just repurpose local trees that are going to waste into usable materials.
Okay, so what you repurpose? What is your source then?
Arborists, farmers. I mean, the windstorms kept us pretty busy in the last little bit. There's a lot of trees dying from invasive species, all kinds of different things affecting the trees. So yeah, when it rains, it pours.
How long have you been working in this line?
About 5 years, I think, with the mill now. We're going on about year 5, but I've been woodworking for a pretty long time. Yeah.
So you were a woodworker before you were a sawyer?
Yeah, I'm a third-generation woodworker by trade. Yeah, I've been making furniture since I was a kid. I went to school for cabinet making, and it just went in a different direction with the need for materials. And now I mostly run a mill and make wood, but I do a little bit of other things as well, furniture making and stuff, yeah.
Which mill are you running?
I'm running a Norwood HD36 with hydraulics, minus the power feed.
You have like extra extensions on that for long logs, or what? Any other additions?
I don't. I just have this stock 12-foot mill. Mostly I cut hardwood for furniture and stuff, so I don't really need the extra length. Occasionally it would be nice making pole barns and stuff like that, but mostly hardwood furniture type stuff, yeah.
So I notice you got a lot of slabs here. You find the Norwood's pretty effective for cutting wide slabs like what you have on show?
Yeah, absolutely. It works great for what it is. I mean, it's portable. There's all kinds of pros to towing it around and using it on a day-to-day basis. I do like the machine a lot, and yeah, we've got some pretty big stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. It looks like you got some decent walnut up here too.
Yeah, walnut's definitely always on the menu. Everybody likes black walnut. A lot of ash trees obviously coming down. They make up 30% of the native canopies, so that's a huge thing. Ash is very popular in use, not super expensive, but it's a great hardwood. We're blessed where we are in Halton region there that we've got lots of mixed types of trees and stuff, which is ideal, I think, for milling. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about your customer base. Who do you sell to, and what do they think?
I sell wood to different walks of life of all kinds of people. I mean, you've got DIY people, woodworkers, people just trying to rent out their home. Wood needs to come in different surfaced fashions that are usable for those different groups of people. But potentially anybody that's got a home or needs material is a potential customer, right? I mean, everything's either made from wood, plastic, or steel, essentially, right? So it's one of three things.
But do you do much with the area woodworkers?
Sorry, with area?
With woodworkers in your area, do you do much?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know quite a few woodworkers in my area. I've got wood turning guys that salvage some scraps off the mill for me for their turning projects. All the way up to higher end furniture makers, people making walnut tabletops like this one behind me. Sometimes people have custom orders for batten or, general purpose type things. Yeah, everything's always a little bit different. It depends on the logs that are coming in, the needs, and things are always changing. Hard to know what's up next.
I can understand that. What you mentioned surfacing and other types of services. So yeah. What do you do in that area? You kiln drying? We'll start there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, furniture wood does need to be kiln dried. We start the process with air drying, but kiln drying is very important for our climate here in Canada, right? We've got very dry winters with furnaces running and stuff like that. So wood needs to be acclimated for that. For as far as furniture goes, your everyday people are going to want wood that's planed and surfaced and stuff. So we've got a planer, a jointer, and a CNC machine for flattening the bigger slabs, like the one behind me, right? That's pretty important. Most people don't have the skill set to work with rough, wide slabs. But that's an added value thing. Same with kiln drying. I mean, wood doesn't have to have those services applied to it, but for professionalism's sake, it's best. Yeah.
So how wide, on the Norwood, how wide can you cut your slabs?
I would say about 24 makes it easy. Okay, you can cut a little wider. It gets tricky. You get stuck on things. I'm sure you've been there. And I think you were one of the people that took the guide out and cut a little wider. So that gets a little interesting as well. With the super wide stuff, I would usually just bring in a friend of mine with a chainsaw mill just to. It's usually way too wide, or I can make it fit. It's one of those two, right? It's never just an inch or two more that makes the difference. But yeah, I mean, obviously some urban trees can get much wider than the mill can potentially cut.
So you out here? We've got other like molding machines and so forth. Is there anything on your wish list right now that you have in mind?
Actually, yeah, I'm liking the outdoor planing capability. It would be pretty sweet. Just keep the sawdust outside, right? And I mean, tongue and gluing those logs together is pretty cool. As of right now, I'm pretty set with different machines. I've got a lot of work to chew on, but I do like that planing, outdoor planing capability. Would be pretty awesome. How about you? You want one of those?
Oh yeah, that's on my wish list. Yeah. But that's good equipment. You know, it gives you capabilities that you wouldn't have otherwise,
Yeah.
and that's the key thing. And like you say, you got a skill set that a lot of people don't have, and providing that, I assume, helps with the cash flow.
Absolutely. I mean, I walk any of my potential clients through how to finish things and how to work with them and help them out any way I can. I mean, YouTube is so influential these days. I mean, you can look up how to do almost anything online. So practice makes perfect. I mean, no one gets good at it right out the gate, but most wood is fairly inexpensive. So the learning curve, it shouldn't be too pricey. Or you can always pay someone to get you started like me.
There you go. And really, you know, advice, you know, and help getting started is probably, from what I've seen, one of the best added value services that a person can get. I mean, without that, without that encouragement, they might not get started on something that could be a lifelong hobby.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of work and patience involved, but you'll get there. It's been done by hand for many years before there were gas mowers and all kinds of fancy tools outside planers.
Well, was there something about the Norwood Sawmill that kind of clicked with you, or why did you decide to go that route?
Yeah, so I originally knew that I wasn't going to get my money back out of it when I put it in, right? So I knew that the HD36 could cut as big as almost all other sawmills, and good wood is obviously, I mean, you're aware, the good wood is in bigger logs. So I jumped straight to the HD36, which is the biggest mill that Norwood has, and at the time I could afford manual options, and I was a little younger than I am now. So that was a great starting point. After a few years, I added hydraulics to it, which is another great luxury of the Norwood HD36. Most mills, I don't know of any other mill that you can upgrade to hydraulics later, right? You're not going to get that initial investment back out. You'd have to sell it and change mills, right? So that's a great feature to have. So now I'm able to keep my original mill upgraded essentially for life. I maybe see needing a wider cutting mill or something, but I don't really see ever replacing the HD36. It's inefficient. It's efficient to run, inexpensive to run. A lot of pros to it. It's fairly affordable to tow. It's lightweight, and it gets the job done for what it is, and it's affordable for what it is as well.
So is the direction you're taking more, you've got the slabs cut, and then customers come in and pick the slabs that they want? Is that kind of how it's working now?
Yeah, I mean, people pick out slabs that they want. That's the nature of making wood. I mean, obviously you can't use every piece of wood. That does work pretty good. I do a lot of surfacing work as well. Rough wood can be a little tricky to sell, but it goes along the different stages of surfacing and how it adds value to it and stuff. But yeah, people definitely do have a need for wood and stuff, right? There's a lot of use of it going on. People renovating homes and all kinds of different ideas. I mean, different woods can be used for different things. So there's so many possibilities there.
Well, if somebody came to you and they said, wow, you know, this looks great. Oh, and by the way, I don't live anywhere near you, so I'm not going to compete. But I'd be interested in doing something similar. What advice would you give them? What would you tell them?
Buy the biggest and best things you can afford. At least if you're going to try and do it to make a living, you're going to need more horsepower, more power, just typical male problems. More horsepower, more cutthroat capacity. All that stuff matters when it comes down to doing it to make a living. All of those little things are really going to matter. You can't buy a hobby mill and then expect to turn it into a commercial operation. I mean, you can obviously sell and change hands and stuff, but those things matter. You'll probably need some support equipment. Logs are heavy. They're full of water. So support equipment's helpful. And I mean, you might need added hands on deck too. Again, the wood's heavy and help is very needed.
How many people do you have working for you?
Just me. I'm going to contradict myself there. Just me. My girlfriend helps occasionally. But I do have an all-terrain forklift, and I try and bite off the things I can chew. I have friends that will come and help me unload and load. The kiln is very labor intensive, and there's certain things I do need help with. But for the most part, I operate alone.
So it can be. It can be done. You can start out with a one-man operation and either expand out or buy more equipment to provide the muscle and stay a one-man or one person, I should say, operation.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a machine and tool in this day and age for absolutely everything, right? So I mean, if you've got some money, I'm sure there's a solution to your problems. Absolutely. I'd say another good thing starting out for people would be things like roller bar systems are very helpful. Clamp-on forks. I don't know. I think you might have clamp-on forks as well. Lots of little things. Just get on the internet and look around. There's lots of different interesting ideas out there. Yeah. Okay.
Well, any other parting shots or thing that you'd like to kind of sum up with?
I enjoy what I do. I mean, I started this to have a job that I enjoyed, and I love it. We're repurposing trees, and it's all the products are eco-friendly. We're trying to make the help with climate change and help with repurposing waste material. There's so much waste wood, even from the last windstorm going into landfills and getting chipped and turning into carbon dioxide. There's just so many avenues for these things to be used as pieces of furniture or building materials, essentially, or they don't have to be waste. But there's some work along the road to get there.
All right, and it sounds like maybe a little bit of profit too if you do it right.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Me too. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Same here.
Yeah, thank you.